Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes, fucker. So, my ever-loving host, Shorty. We've got Swamp Thing today, explicitly something number 88 or 89, issue 1, depending on how you want to phrase it. But it's the Rick Veitch one. It's the one that apparently didn't get made a long time ago. And having read it, I can kind of see why some people might have had a problem with it. There's an entire multi-page bit of back matter about the entire thing. And I don't want to get too much into that, if I'm completely honest. I actually just enjoyed it as a comic book, but I enjoyed it for more than that to a certain degree as well. It's worth talking about how this comic book is framed, and I really do like it for it. First off, the fact that when you open the inside cover, there is a page which I remember quite well from reading comic books around about that time. It has a list of other stuff that's coming out this week or this month, lots of publication information, a little bit of a catch-up on what's been going on in the world of comics. Everything is very much of its era, apart from what's been going on, and it's just a very good catch-up on previously on Swamp Thing. It actually just gets you straight to where you need to be. It doesn't bog you down with too much details, but it also does more than just very, very broad strokes and lets you know why what's happening is happening. Very, very well done. Kind of needed for the people who haven't read this run of Swamp Thing since 1989. Not just that, though. When you're flicking through it, I mean, on the back cover, and this is the back cover. Anyone wants to remember when that was on the back of every other comic book in the world? Because I certainly am. It's brilliant to see that kind of thing. I like it when the facsimile editions do it, but this is not a facsimile. This is a brand new comic book. It wasn't published back then. The fact that publishing now have not only done that, but done that like inside cover and multiple ads very much of the time this comic book was coming out, just makes me feel like it's an in-universe artifact of something, a world that we never quite got. Also, I know at least one person watching this review is going to be excited by this. The paper quality is amazing. It is high quality, don't get me wrong, but it's high quality pulp paper. It has that smell, that texture to it, exactly the kind of thing you would expect if you were reading a Rick Veitch, something of the era. All that being said, and as much as I do love it for all those kind of things, we're mainly here to talk about whether or not this is a good comic book, and those little things that make me smile aren't the same thing as high quality. So let's talk about the quality of it. First of all, artwork is brilliant. Michael Zulli does an absolutely spectacular job. The page layouts and the artist's style are very reminiscent of what one would expect at the time. Feels like this could have been the actual artwork for the comic book that never actually existed. I don't know for sure. I genuinely would need to look more into that. But it is brilliant. There is more of a richness to the colours, which I really like. It doesn't feel quite so flat. There is just more depth to it, and that is a good thing. Because as much as I do like classic comic books, you can go back and admire them for what they were doing with the capabilities technological and artistically at the time, but this is something that's a little bit better, a little bit more in your face with how good it looks, how much it pops from the page, mostly with the yellows of all things. I mean, we have like a not first appearance but origin story of Etrigan the Demon, and I was like, oh yes, this looks amazing. Every instance of both Etrigan and the father figure of Etrigan are brilliantly done. Story-wise, it does feel like it is a bit of a throwback to an older way of telling stories, but one we're seeing a resurgence of, which is kind of bad guy or story chapter of the week. And I've never really minded that. Sometimes it works better than others. Bad guy of the week stuff for like very, very long running things feels like you're taking away this chance for an overarching narrative. In this particular case, it's a really nice jump on point to be like, hey, here's this one story right now. Next issue going to be another story, but we're going to be building on character, we're building on tropes, because Swamp Thing is going through some stuff, and the little changes he's making in the world, the way he's been affected by the world, are clearly leading to character development and character-based storytelling, which I really like. But this is a story about one particular time, one particular event, and it's handled pretty damn well. I can see why when you look at the original cover, there may have been some people umming and ahhing about whether or not this comic book is going to be successful on the shelves. I do feel mildly disappointed that they've they have absolutely changed the cover to the one that you're going to see right now. But again, I see why. To say we've moved on from that kind of scare in the 80s to where we are right now would be selling short some of the regressive steps popular culture has taken. But the comic book itself does a very good job of mythologizing. It takes characters from other stories, both historical and fiction, the book, the Holy Bible, and it gives them life and gives them really nice motivations and character beats to do what they do, and the story flows. It works really nicely. The beginning, middle, and end of it all are pitch perfect. the character beats throughout it, the individual scripting and the writing, all superb. If you've been waiting this for a long time, or you're thinking, hell, let's just give an unusual, cool Swamp Thing comic book a shot, you're in for a treat. Literally have nothing bad to say about this one. That's it for me for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe.